Welcome to my channel Neuland Yoga. I'm Katja and this is a Yin Yoga practice for the ankles, toes and feet. You need 2 yoga blocks and maybe a blanket if you have sensitive knees. Let's begin with Thai goddess pose or broken toe pose. So come into a kneeling position. You can use the blocks in front of you or you can place your hands onto the floor. Tuck all 10 toes under. And now depending on the mobility in your feet, maybe you can walk your hands back to your knees, lift your chest and sit on your heels. If sitting on the heels is not accessible, you can keep your hands on the blocks and lean the weight into your hands. You can walk the blocks a little bit closer towards your knees, so you have a little bit more weight in your feet. You could also place a block or blanket between your hips and heels to sit a little bit higher. And you can place a block underneath your knees, so your knees are elevated, and that usually changes the sensation in the feet. Find your option. And find a pose that is soft and mild enough that you can sit here for at least a couple of breaths. If you're able to sit on your heels, take a moment to pull your little toes forward so that all 10 toes are more or less evenly on your mat and tucked under. And then find your seat or find your pose. If it's okay to let your hips become heavy, let them sink down into the heels. Keep your upper body upright, stretch the crown of your head up, relax your shoulders, and let your hands soften on your knees or thighs. If you are supporting your body with your hands on floor or blocks, just hold wherever you can hold it. Let's stay here for a moment so you have the opportunity to become still and to check in with yourself, to connect to yourself. Allow your body to open whenever it is ready to open, so no rush. This pose is a beautiful pose to activate energy in the feet, to work on mobility and strength. It's a nice pose to find a connection to your feet, so they are far away from our brain and sometimes we forget about them. But this pose is a good reminder that the feet are there for us and that they also need some care from time to time. Next inhale, blink your eyes open if they are closed. Slowly move out of the pose. Come forward onto hands and knees. And once the weight is resting in your hands, untuck your toes, place the feet flat onto your mat. Ooh, notice the release and the sensation. And if you like, tap your feet a few times on the floor. And then just let them rest and notice again the energy, the sensation there. From here, if accessible, sit down on your heels to come into a kneeling position. If sitting on your heels doesn't work for you, you could try to place 1 or 2 blocks between your heels to sit on top. And this might be the pose where you stay for today. It's a nice stretch for the tops of the feet and for the shins and your quads, your thighs. If you're able to sit comfortably on your heels, so it's completely fine for your knees, no awkward or uncomfortable sensations there, keep your hips resting on the heels. And then take your left hand and see if you can grab around your right kneecap. Place your right hand as support on the floor and slowly start lifting your right knee with the help of your left hand until you can feel a nice tucking or stretching sensation for the top of your ankle and the top of your foot. And you might be able to lift the knee high. Maybe there is no movement at all because it feels intense already just to sit on the heels. That's fine, just stay. So you still get the same benefit, it just looks differently. We have a couple of breaths left here for the first side or the first foot. With your next exhale, let go of your right knee, let it sink down. Take a moment to feel both sides. There's probably a little bit of a difference between both feet and both ankles. And then let's switch sides. So take your right hand around your left knee, left hand on the floor as support. Lean back, lift your left leg, or your left knee, I should say. And then find the right amount of stretching sensation for the top of your ankle and the top of your foot. Hold it there, again with your breath nice and smooth, nice and easy. And it really doesn't matter how high you can lift your knee, but what really matters is how it feels like. So make sure it's a sensation that is, again, gentle enough that you can hold it in stillness. So you can stay there comfortably. Take a long deep inhale. With your exhale, let go of your left knee. And again, sit and feel. You can stay here for another couple of breaths or lean back, bring both hands onto the mat behind you, and maybe you are able to lift both knees for a couple of breaths. Good. Let your knees sink down. Come forward onto hands and knees. Stretch your right leg back, tuck the toes under, and push the heel gently back and down. Feel the circulation in your leg. Maybe lift the back of your knee a little bit higher to straighten the leg more. Maybe you can feel more space for the back of your leg, especially in your calf muscle. Release, place your right knee down, stretch the left leg back, same here, tuck the toes under, push the heel back and down. Find a nice opening, stretching sensation for the back of your leg. Release, bring your left knee down, and then from here, step your right foot forward between your hands, but take a smaller step you would usually take for a low lunge. So actually the foot is not in front of you, it's underneath you, underneath your chest. You could use the blocks on either side or in front of your right foot. Slide your left leg back and bend your front knee, bend your right knee. Allow the knee to come forward in front of the toes. And notice the sensation that is now happening in the back of your right foot, around the Achilles tendon and around the back of your heel. Let the hips become heavy. You can slightly lean forward or you can stay more upright. Keep your right foot, the right heel, anchored on the floor. And let's hold here for a couple of breaths, feeling the opening sensation for the back of your heel. Finish one more breath here. Press into the blocks or your hands into the floor so you can shift the body weight back, taking the tension out of your right foot and leg. And then slide your right leg back and step the left foot forward underneath you. Bend your knee, let it come forward and in front of the toes. Slide the opposite right leg back. And again, let your hips become heavy. Let the left heel, the left foot sink down, anchor it. And find that opening sensation for the back of your heel. So it might feel a little bit different than on the first side, maybe less intense or more intense. Maybe you have to choose a slight different position for your upper body and your hips here to find the sensation. And once you've found it, become still and just stay there. Stay with the pose, stay with your breath. Finish another deep breath here. And then press into hands or blocks again so you can shift the body weight back. Pause for a breath. And from there, slide your left leg back. And come into your kneeling position. Optional, place your block between your heels underneath your hips if you need to. Let everything settle for a moment. Observe the sensations. And then whenever you're ready, blink your eyes open and head back into the rest of your day.